I am still Cheryl Forrest Morganson. I am still way too cold. And here is instead of a mini rant, we'll call it a mini lecture. A couple now that I think I'm going to just toss out there on Facebook. Again, the impetus for this is that if you are a professional singer or a professional actor, you get trained, among other things, how to audition, because auditioning is basically your job interview. Community theater members can be wonderful actors, wonderful singers, the whole package, triple threat. But if they can't audition well, they're never going to get cast in a big role. And that makes me sad because often the errors they're making are preventable errors that you would know if you had gone through professional acting or professional singing training, but who has time for that? If you have a job as an accountant or something. So here are a couple of don'ts. Continuing on from what I did last night. Don't audition a song without having rehearsed it as a monologue. It is very apparent that some group of people who come in who audition consistently think of, okay, here's the song where I prove that I can sing, and here's the side where I prove that I can act. And they don't seem to realize, and again, I'm sorry for being rude here, but this just kind of, that you have to be acting through your singing. And the easiest way to prepare that is to look at the text, prepare it as a monologue, figure out throughout this text, do you discover something? Do you come to a decision? Do you realize something? Whatever. And that should inform how you sing it. Definitely do not do what's called in opera park and bark, where you just kind of stand there and look like deep or look happy the entire time. Like, no. There should be something going on in your body, in your face, that indicates that you are a real human truthfully going through this song, and we are just kind of along for the ride and discovering things as you discover them. So that's the first thing. Next, don't audition without recording yourself first. Just once or twice. I know that recordings can send me into a spiral of depression, but they are a necessary part of I think the artistic process, particularly now that everyone has a video camera in their phone, on their phone, on their person. That it's just, if you have, say, a tick where you play with your ring when you're nervous, that video is going to show that you're playing with your ring. If you kind of do this, because a lot of people when they sing and they're nervous, they kind of shift back and forth. You'll see that when you look at the video. So don't be looking at it as like every single thing you're doing wrong. Look at it as like, okay, is there anything I'm doing that is a distraction to what I'm trying to communicate? And then work on that. Like, I know from having just sung to demonstrate the effects of my sinus surgery, that my eyebrows have a mind of their own. And so if I was to go in an audition at this point in my life, I would abso-freaking-lutely make sure that I have my eyebrows under control. Because again, that would probably be a distraction to what I'm trying to communicate. Okay, next, don't forget to practice what you say to the pianist. You have about 10 seconds before you start to look like you're high maintenance or you don't know what you're doing. Again, sorry to be rude, but it's more I want to be brutally honest here. The way you adjust that, or the way you fix that, is make sure you walk in with a basic, everything laid out, either marked ideally would be different colors like start, stop, or highlighted. And if there are any tempo changes, highlight those. That gets me 90% of the information that I want. And that's 10% is how fast you want to go. For that, just make sure, in that 10 seconds, like you say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm going to be singing this. If there's a groove, like if it's a swung song, make sure you indicate it as da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, rather than da-da-da-da-da, because more than once I have started a piece, a cut, assuming the eighth notes were straight, only to find out afterwards, oh, they were supposed to have been swung, and that really is going to impact your audition. So just practice. You've got 10 seconds. Set an alarm to get information across to the pianist. And generally, when people are running afoul of this or running over, they are saying information that they could indicate on the page using a highlighter. Okay, last one, and this is one that really frosts my cookies. Do not blame the pianist if something goes wrong with your audition. Now, there are absolutely times where I'm a doctoral student. I first played in a pit in, I think, 91. I've been playing for musicals for a while. I've been playing auditions for a while. The whole point, though, of auditioning is that I'm going to be sight reading something. If I already know it, great. You're in good hands. You're lucky. If I don't know it, I'm going to be doing my level best. And sometimes I completely faceplant. And if that's the case, and I think pretty much every other accompanist that I know is going to say right in front of you, if not as soon as you leave, I'm sorry, that was entirely my fault. I remember someone, in fact, who I just face planted. Now, I think that, how do I put this? I face planted this particular actress went on to get the lead role because it was clear to everyone with ears in that room that she could sing her face off. So conversely, because musical theater is such a team sport, if you have the audacity to blame the accompanist or say, oh, that didn't sound like it did in YouTube, or it wasn't how I rehearsed it, you're instantly going to look like a diva. You're instantly going to sound like a brat. And no one wants that. And I have absolutely seen people who otherwise had a good audition up till that point, like, thank you, next, you're canceled. Like, no one wants to work on, for 3 months on a project with someone who is going to blame others for things going wrong. Because in theater, things go wrong. And you want someone who's just going to roll with the punches and be gracious. And please do trust that the typical accompanist, if something goes wrong and it's their fault, they will absolutely own up to it. Okay, so that is my mini lecture. Please stay warm if you're in Illinois or north of me, and I'll talk to you guys later.